Hello and welcome to my presentation on Assignment 2, Product Brand and Positioning Strategy for the Library at Asoke. For today's discussion, I'll be going through the introduction, the value proposition, the positioning statement, the product and experience strategy, price and place, brand identity, competitive differentiation, integration into the business model, the reference and AI usage, and then supporting materials. So the question is, what is Adesoke? Adesoke is a new joint building being constructed by the City of Ottawa and the Canadian federal government. It's going to be the flagship branch for the City of Ottawa Public Library, but it is also going to be the front end service for the Archives of Canada. And unlike the rest of everybody else in this class, I'm not dealing with a small business. I'm dealing with the opening of this massive new building. Adesoke's value proposition is to be an inclusive, modern, and sustainable landmark for community storytelling and knowledge sharing. So once again, unlike a small business, Adesoke is a $300 million building that's being paid for by the taxes of both everybody in Canada, but also from the municipality of Ottawa. With the building designed to such a wide variety, the positioning statement is actually been subdivided into 4 sections, which I'll talk about in the next 2 slides. The first 2 positioning statements are about accessibility and inclusion and modern and sustainable facility. To give you an idea of how important accessibility is within this building, we are seeking gold level certification from the Rick Hansen Foundation on accessibility. In order to get your certification provincially, it takes about 29 points for us to be able to build this building. To get gold level certification from the Rick Hansen Foundation, it takes 84 points. We are actually at 89 points and even looking to increase that volume by creating an app that will help people that are blind navigate the building. So accessibility is extremely important to us. Then when we talk about inclusion, the best story that I can give you is just the name of the building itself. The name Adesoke was gifted to this library through consultation and through working together. And it was gifted to us by the Kitigan, Zibi, Anishinabeg, and the Algonquin First Nations. That level of cooperation and working together has been beautiful. And in the modern sustainable facility, we are seeking to be the first net zero carbon status and incorporating features like massive amounts of timber, locally sourced materials, modern technology with a variety of spaces for creation, discovery center, a design studio, digital production center. There's even a kitchen that we are constructing to help give cooking classes, which is much of a more view of a municipal library initiative. But all of these things are all about creating a modern and sustainable facility. The final 2 positioning statements are combined municipal and national services and community hub. That first one, combined municipal and national services, very difficult. I will tell you, having worked there now for a number of months in this area, there are different laws, different rules, different legislation that oversees both of the Ottawa Public Library and Library and Archives Canada. Mending those things together is very difficult, but it's been extremely beneficial and a great learning experience for everybody involved. And then the community hub. The picture that you see here on the bottom right is actually one of many different consultation sessions that we had with a series that was called the Inspire 555 series. Overall, more than 4,000 members of the public and community participated in these sessions with various different desires and outcomes for the building that we were building. It is an extreme community hub, and it will be used by the City of Ottawa for many, many, many years to come. Product and experience strategy is going to be very different from me. Obviously, I'm not a small business. We're talking about a building, but we've done a lot of work at Library and Archives Canada to figure out our audience framework. And then for me in this class, what is my specific challenge? On this side, you can see Library and Archive Canada's audience framework. We've divided it into 7 different categories of people that will be visiting the library. I'll talk a lot more about the evidence seeker and the obligated learner in the next slide because that affects me personally, and that's where I want to focus on this assignment for us. but you'll also notice that there's creators, evidence seekers, explorers, visit facilitators, and then destination enthusiasts. One of the teams that I manage is the consultation team. This team is responsible for working face to face with clients that come into our building. They're either picking up material to view it in our space that they have previously ordered, or they're coming in because they're having a very difficult time figuring out how to order the information that they're looking for. Truly, with the millions and millions of pages of information that we have, finding what it is that you're looking for is difficult. And our team, the consultation team, are experts in helping the clients locate this information. Right now, we currently see about 30,000 people a year that come into our office. At Asoke, the rough estimates are about 1.5 million people that will be coming through our door. How do we ensure that the people that currently use our services don't feel lost in the shuffle of all the new people that will be entering our building? In particular, we see two kinds of people that come in. Either students, obligated learners is what we've called them here, or evidence seekers. And these are typically researchers. And the persona that I've created at the end of this presentation, which was different than the one I originally created, is more about that line, where, as an example, we have a series of researchers that come in for land claims. And there's lawsuits going on about a specific land portion, and they go into the archives to look up the old land claims that are already in existence and use these in legal cases that are brought before the courts. When I thought about the client journey, I thought about our current 30,000 people that come into our current facilities at 395 Wellington. Essentially, they walk in, there's a security guard that they talk to, and then they come up to the third floor to get their information. And there's no stops there, it's directly there. It's a very small, quiet area. Obviously, we have a ton of information there, but it's a small space. In the new building, we're going to be located on the third floor of a massive space. If you look at the picture on the top right of the screen here, that's what you walk into. There's actually 3 entrances to the building as well. Our people are going to feel lost. How do they know to come up to the third floor to see us? And potentially even up to the 4th floor, where we have other places and spaces depending on the kind of media you're looking at. Like if you're looking to see a very old map, that'll actually be in our special collections, not in our textual collections, which is located on the 4th floor versus the 3rd. So I thought about the journey. It's coming into the building. How do you get there? What are you doing? You're probably pretty excited when you first get in there, but then you're also overwhelmed, astonished. Are you a little lost by what's happened? Then step 2, you have to get up to the 3rd floor. Again, here I would expect some eagerness and some excitement as you're getting ready to come and see the collection. Then you work with the consultation team to order your materials if you need to order them, or to receive the materials that you've already ordered. And then you go to your space, look at it. You're excited now. You're expectant of the materials that you've got. You're inquisitive as well. You're guessing, what am I going to get to see as I open up these archives? Step 4 is reviewing the materials. Again, here you're happy, at least it's studious. Again, that's the clientele that we're already used to, and they're optimistic. Step 5, though, is returning the materials. Now, this is not just here you go, we're giving it back. Maybe they need to come back the next day to continue to study some of the materials. Well, in that case, there we might assign them a locker where they can store their things overnight. They'll keep the key, but again, we need that space for them to have. And then the last step is the client leaves the building. They're probably content. They're probably a little sleepy, tired. They've been working on their assignment for the whole day. So price, funny enough, it's free. It's a library. As long as you're a resident of Ottawa, you get that for free. So then we have to talk about the place though, and so much time and effort was put into the place. If you see the big A in the middle of your screen there, that is Adasoke. To the top right, you'll see there's Parliament Hill. You'll see to the left of that is the Gavel, which is the Supreme Court of Canada. And the current Library and Archives building is actually right beside that. So we're just moving down the street. The other black circle that you see there is the War Museum. But and then LeBreton Flats, that's written in white there, the Ottawa Senators have just purchased that land. So we'll be located right across the street from the arena that houses the Ottawa Senators. In addition, about 10 minutes and 15 minutes away are the universities of Ottawa and Carleton, which is another big user base that we will be seeing in the future. Brand identity is beautiful, and I can take no credit for it whatsoever. This was all done way before I started with this team, but you'll see the name Adasoke written as it is in that font that I find it so welcoming. That A with the line around it is the shape of the building, and the first letter of Adasoke in the Anishinaabe language, and then finally the building itself. The building itself is beautiful, and it is part of that brand. Competitive differentiation is actually pretty funny to me in this because we actually don't really have competition. We have people that we're working with. Um, when you think about the museums that are in the neighborhood, because the archive is kind of going to be a museum in a lot of different ways. There's going to be exhibits that will show that will have beautiful artworks that are in our collection, different books that we can highlight. There's going to be a number of things that the public can come in and see. And the Ottawa area already has, I put 11 museums, and these ones are larger museums, but there are a ton of little small museums like the Ottawa Art Museum that is there. But these organizations, we work together, not separately. In fact, you can buy museum passes that will have all of them kind of togetherness. And we have the GLAM organization. GLAM stands for galleries, libraries, archives, and museums. There's already this established connection. And then if you talk about the libraries, Ottawa, the city of Ottawa already has 33 library branches. Now, this one here will be the main branch for the city of Ottawa. Obviously, it is gorgeous. And truly, we are working together. When we think about integration into the business model, for me, I wanted to focus on those 30,000 people that currently use it, especially our regulars. So that 30,000, there's a lot of them that come in on a pretty regular basis to do research of some kind or another. How are we going to not break our relationship that we have with these current clients with our consultation team? We're going to have a lot of new users. And if we focus entirely on them, the people that currently use our services may feel a little dejected, like they weren't cared for. So we want to ensure that we're trying to take care of them as we move into our new space. So what we've thought about is the communication strategy. About 3 months before we open Adasoke, we're hoping that we're going to create a kiosk in the main lobby of our current building where people will be able to come up and they'll know with signage and things like that that, hey, do you regularly use our facilities? Come on in and check out this kiosk where we'll explain how things are going to change, how you'll need to skip that front desk that where there may be a huge line of people wondering how do I get in and come directly up to the third floor and deal with us. We're going to create pamphlets and we'll have mapping also designed to show people how to get to Library and Archive Canada's areas, especially the consultation team. And then the last thing that we need to do is we need to ensure that we're training our employees properly because right now their job is just helping people find their things or delivering the materials to them after they've already found them and ordered them. Now they're going to have people coming in saying, where's the kitchen? Where's the any other area that we have within the building? And they're going to need to have that in order to best support our clientele and be that warm, welcoming face. A lot to think about in terms of training for them. So for my references in AI usage, you'll see here that the main resources that I used were the Adasoke and the Ottawa Public Library websites. A great deal of information there if you ever wanted to do more digging. But I also used the entrepreneurial marketing, our main book for this series, for this class, sorry. And then the personas, which you'll see in the next slide, I developed, and I actually changed from the original one that I submitted a while back when I had a better idea of how I wanted to focus. And then just the customer journey map, I looked that over, but I had to tweak it a little bit in order to work better with the scenario that I'm currently working with. And again, for the supporting materials, I have here the persona for Jacob Jackson. I kept the names the same from when I did the previous assignment, but in this case, you'll notice though that I've made him, he is a current and future user of the archives. He's a professional researcher who works for a law firm that is researching land claim court cases by ordering and examining archival land records held in Canadian National Archives. He comes on site to look at the records at least once a week. This is the kind of person that we meet almost every day. And we want to ensure that these kind of people that are coming into our facilities continue to feel like they are supported and valued as people attending our establishment.